in our minds, we might think of someone who's obese, that they're just lazy, that they're just unmotivated, they just love food too much to the exclusion of all else. But that's not always the case. So when I spoke to this gentleman, he was telling me he was so happy that he finally went for this, and he wanted to start afresh, he wanted to start anew, he wanted to be the best version of himself. And I said, oh, what do you mean by start afresh and anew? So he said his weight gain actually only came on the last 2 years because his wife and his children died in a car crash.
So Dr. Ryan, why weight management?
Weight management is more than just the number itself. It's about your self-perception, your self-esteem. It's about your physical ability to perform everyday tasks like walking up the hill, walking down the stairs without feeling pain, you know. It's about controlling your chronic diseases as well. All these play a part in weight management. So it's when you talk about weight management, it's never just about the number itself. It's about how you feel and how you actually are on the inside.
So when you come to that, when someone that is like very maybe a lower weight, like maybe, I don't know, 40 plus, right? I mean, to them it's actually quite low weight, right? Now, is that weight healthy?
It depends on what that 40 plus kg is made of. If let's say you're a pretty petite lady, you know, say 150 cm, 40 plus could be your exact perfect body weight. But let's say you're 160 something lady, is 40 plus really healthy, or is that pushing into the unhealthy range where something has to give, be it muscle health, bone health, for example?
So on the other extreme, I have friends, huge, right? I think they are like 100 over kgs.
Okay.
Right? But they are very fit. You know, they can do like 2.4, less than 10 minutes kind, right? Now, are those good weight as well?
Once again, it boils down to the composition of that body weight. 100 kg is not a small weight, okay? But if you think about it, if you're 100 kg and you're 1.85, 1.9, you know, what's the BMI? It's going to be, it's going to look different from someone who's 1.6 or 1.7. And if you look at professional athletes, a lot of them tend to be on the heavier side, 90 plus kg, 100 kg.
Yes.
And they look very good, you know, and they are very fit. So it's not about it's never really just about the number itself.
So what are the factors that we need to look out for in terms of like weight management, in your opinion? Is it just BMI, or is there like you mentioned bone density, fat ratio, or what are some of these factors?
I think the current state of weight management as a whole is very different from what it was, for example, 10 or 20 years ago as technology advances. So right now we have more and more data. For example, bone mineral density. We know the skeletal muscle mass. We know the water weight. We know the visceral fat. All these things all factor into what makes a healthy person. And at the absolute end of the tunnel, when you crunch all the numbers together, that's when you get your body weight. But what is it really made of? Is the main question.
Okay, because I got a lot of like friends, right? Or at least apps, they tell you your BMI is too high. But no matter how much you lose, then what does it mean to the weight management? Will I still be in the healthy range or not?
If you are losing...
Like my wife told me to stop losing weight already, but my BMI is still like slightly above.
Okay. So if you are losing weight just for the sake of losing weight, to make a number look nice,
the BMI number look very nice,
then you could potentially be compromising on something that you're not aware of. For example, if you are someone who goes to the gym a lot and yet you are just trying to keep into that so-called fit BMI for Asians, 18 to 23, for example. Generally, that's quite impossible to hit if you are really hitting the gym. And if you still try to fit yourself into that mold, which was never meant for you, you end up compromising on muscle mass, you end up compromising on your joint health, compromising on your bone health. So
I do see quite a bit of things, but people still say, hey, you still need to be in the 18 to 23. So honestly, 23, I really cannot hit. Any skinnier than that, my wife say I'm a skeleton. I'm a skull, she says.
Right. So that 18 to 23 is actually just a rule of thumb. Okay, BMI as a general measure is a very coarse tool. It's very crude. Okay. Personally, I'm not in that BMI range.
Okay.
Okay. When I tell people my real weight, they're all very shocked. I'm definitely out of that the 23 range.
23 range, okay.
Okay. And I've almost never been in the 23 range.
Right.
But all my life, I've always been very active and doing sports. I don't watch what I eat so closely. Okay. But I always make sure that I'm holding myself to a certain standard in terms of workouts.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think we have talked about various types. Then my question to you is, what is the ideal factors that we should be looking out for? Right. For you as a doctor, do you think that actually you are healthy, this weight is good? What are those factors?
Key ones.
Yeah.
I think you can look at it from, for example, the biochemicals perspective, which is, you run your blood test, you're looking at your calcium levels, you're looking at your cholesterol levels, your sugar levels. That's only one side of the whole picture. The other side is the measurable stuff in terms of your body metrics, the height to weight. You're looking at the waist circumference. And that's also actually something that we look at.
Okay.
Waist circumference.
Waist circumference.
Why?
So because a higher waist circumference to body height ratio can sometimes suggest the presence of underlying conditions or the
Like
risk.
what?
So
heart conditions.
No, so metabolic syndrome.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is it's a very metabolic syndrome is a very general term.
Yes.
But it's this collection or constellation of signs, symptoms, diagnoses that just point towards that your body is just not processing well. Yeah.
Okay. So what exactly does metabolic syndrome mean? It's defined as
Being pretty big.
Oh, okay. So tummy is there lah. So when people say got beer tummy, all this is
In a sense. There's of course the medical definition, but I won't bore you guys with that today.
Okay.
Okay, so what other factors then other than those? So you talk about the waist, right?
Yep. So height, weight, waist. We're looking at the further details like your skeletal muscle mass, your bone mass, and bone density. Yeah.
How do we assess that?
So bone mass, I know that right now on the market we have things like InBody Pro, right? So this it would actually send currents through your body to analyze what's your breakdown and then give you a score at the end of the day.
Okay. And like those things that you step on, like the weight machines or is it a wearable?
It's a step on. It's not
step
wearable.
like machines.
Yeah.
Okay, step like weighing machines. Yeah. Accurate, large degree?
I would think it's actually accurate because I've done across a few machines and they actually gave me quite similar readings.
Okay, so Dr. Ryan, I'm very, very curious because how do I put it? I'm trying to frame this properly, right? But I think I'm going to offend quite a fair bit of people, right?
Okay, let's hear it.
I realized that, rather, I have more friends that are guys interested in weight loss compared to ladies nowadays. Is it true?
Are you interested in weight loss?
I mean, we all are. I mean, you always have your spouses saying, hey, you're getting fat,
Okay.
I mean, you see a doctor, do some weight loss,
Okay.
Yeah, but is it true in a clinic perspective?
From my perspective, given the clientele that I have, actually, I do have more male patients asking for weight loss.
Is it weight loss or weight gain? Are they similar in proportion to you, or most people want the weight loss?
Most people want the weight loss.
Okay.
The weight loss got medicine ma. Weight gain, most
You just eat.
Yeah, you just eat lah.
No, but there are some people who can eat also cannot gain weight one.
It's true. So that one is really about the the caloric excess versus caloric deficit, input output kind of framework that we have to work with.
Okay.
Actually, I'm very curious that why those guys, rather, I'm also one of those, right? They want to have weight loss, or rather, why are they looking at weight loss?
I think it boils back down to the ego. Definitely boils back down to the ego. Because when we see ourselves as guys, what do we see ourselves as? We see ourselves as someone who's fit, someone who's able to take care, to protect. If we think back to the prehistoric times, the guys out there hunting, right? You have to be fit. You have to be a certain stature, certain size to become the fittest, so they can continue to survive, to take care of your family, your tribe, whatever. So I don't think humanity has advanced to the point that we forget that kind of very prehistoric instinct. So we also want to get back to certain respectable shape, so that we continue to feel like we are still able to protect our families.
I know Dr. Ryan is going to say, right, because of all the K drama, C drama,
C drama,
the people,
the ideal frame of people, the picture,
Yeah,
the guys.
I know.
Okay, but it's not easy lah. To get those 6 packs and all. I think that one has to heavily look at diet, right?
So there's a saying that the abs are made in the kitchen, right? So
There's no amount of like crunches you do to get abs.
if you strip away the fat, everybody has abs.
Okay.
Okay, it's how much fat do you have?
So the whole idea of getting abs is to reduce the outside layer of fats.
And it's not the muscle, right?
No.
It's not to build the muscle in that region.
You can be very buff to the point that you have visible abs purely based on the muscle bulk, but you need to be.
You must strip away the fats regardless.
Correct.
Okay.
See, I tell you I have abs. I just use a layer of fat to protect it.
You don't tell me, you tell your wife.
Yeah.
You tell your wife. I don't need to know. and just now you mentioned medication. So do people take medication and what kinds? Can say or not?
Can.
Okay.
Yes, people do take, and at my clinic I do give as well. There are many kinds of medications. I think up to maybe 10 years ago there were maybe about 2 kinds of drugs on the market only, and now we have like 6, 7, 8 different kinds of drugs and more in the pipeline. Okay, so the early kind of medications, Xenical, prevents the breakdown of fat in your gut and the absorption of that, so that you will actually just poop out the fat.
But wow, okay.
So you poop out your mala, you poop out your McSpicy. All the oil will be intolerable.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that doesn't wait. So that is a chemical thing. It does not inhibit the hunger lah, right?
No. So you eat as per normal.
Okay.
And then the oil just passes through your gut without getting absorbed.
And so this is one key way to not get the fats absorbed into the body.
Correct.
Is that healthy?
Yeah.
In
Ideal
the
then.
short to mid-term, actually, there are no noticeable negative effects. Okay, in the long term, there are certain vitamins that are fat soluble, so you have to have some fat to be able to absorb those. Vitamin A, D, E, and K. So in the long term, if you're taking this medication, you would have to supplement a bit of that every now and then.
But if you have that medication and you do a supplement, the supplement also does
you just pass it out.
No, it's already pre-complex already inside the tablet.
Oh, okay. It does not write onto the fats of the food and etc.
And as past a certain point, if you saturate your system enough with the vitamins, there will be the absorption now. So
okay. And so is this a very popular medication that people take?
It's not so well known.
Okay.
It's not so well known in Singapore. It's actually more well known overseas. In Australia, it's actually you're able to get it over the counter at the pharmacy.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's not a prescription, but in Singapore, it's a prescription-only medication.
Oh, okay. And what's the effect? Like, take it already, the weight will drop, regardless of what you eat.
It's a modest weight reduction effect. Modest. Which kind of brings me back to the point about diet, right? So if yes, you can take out fat from your diet completely. You take this medicine and you just poop all the fat and oil out. And yet the weight reduction is modest. So it's not only about reducing the fat in your diet. This weight loss and weight management and diets in general is very multifactorial.
So by modest, what are we looking at? Like percentage?
Perhaps 5 to 10%.
5 to 10%.
Yeah. Maximally 10, but I'm thinking it's more around 5.
Okay. Ooh.
Yeah. And you mentioned diet. So what are those different diets out there for weight loss? Because I know that people will just do fasting. Then I think there's also keto diet. Is that right? That's the one that keto, is it?
Yeah.
The one that eat meat, right?
And, yeah.
Yeah. What other diets are there?
So IF, intermittent fasting, like you mentioned, people can do fast for 16, eat for 8, Some people do 12-12. I had a friend who did 24-0. Like he just went one whole day fasting and then ate for a little bit the next day and then went 24 hours again. There are variations of that, and it depends on how extreme you want to be. There's keto diet, which is well proven to lose weight, but it's only as long as you maintain that
keto
state.
Okay.
Do you want me to go a bit more into?
Why not? Yeah, you can tell us a little bit more.
Yeah. So
what does a keto diet made out of? Yeah, what is it?
Keto diet means you just completely avoid carbs whatsoever. But you can eat all the veggies you want, you can eat fat, you can eat protein as much as you want. I mean, up to your hunger lah. So what this does is tell your body, look, this Strait of Hormuz is closed. No more carbo for you. So you are forced to look elsewhere.
For energy lah.
Correct.
Okay.
So you will burn burn your fat, you burn your protein. But in the initial phase, when you're still trying to change, from your diesel to petrol or diesel to electric engine, you're going to feel quite unwell because you are going to go into a bit of a low sugar state, and that forces your body to change the fuel source and start burning fat. But the thing is that when you go into a keto diet, you also need to be working out to tell your body, look, don't burn my protein, don't burn my muscle. You can burn everything else. Just don't touch my muscle because you're using it.
Yep.
But if you're not using it, then your body is like, hey, I can just use this muscle lah. He's not using it anyway.
So it does have to come with exercise.
It does have to come with other lifestyle management stuff, which is working out. Not running, not cardio, but actually strength training.
Okay, so
really gym strength training.
Correct.
Oh, wow.
And I've seen people who are on this go really, really hardcore in their gym, on their keto diet, and they lose maybe 20-30% of their weight, which is very significant.
It is.
Once again, it's not just about the diet, it's also about the lifestyle, because what is really underlying all this is a mindset shift. If you can commit yourself to not eating carbs, you can commit yourself to keto, you can commit yourself to doing the gym 3-4 times a week, 4-5 times a week. It's about really putting in the effort and changing things such that you get to where you want to be.
So for the layman, right, maybe you can give a breakdown, right, of what happens, like when someone eats, the calories go in, is there energy deposits anywhere, and where does the energy, where do they tap it out? For someone who's looking into weight management, maybe give us an overview of what happens. And then eventually we can delve into each component. Why do we need to look into it? Yeah.
Okay, so when we eat, of course, we chew, we swallow. When actually eating and the whole hunger process starts before you touch your food. When you smell food, when you see food, that actually triggers hunger receptors in your brain. And then that triggers the want to eat, triggers the production of more gastric acid. And then you start eating. So in the initial phase, your stomach is shrunken, and as you feel the stomach stretches, and that stretch actually causes a reflex. It also releases some hormones that feeds back to your body. Okay, how many % full am I? Should I stop? And as the food is processed and moves out of the stomach into the next part of the small intestine, the duodenum, that in itself, when the pH of the duodenum changes because the gastric acid goes in there, it also triggers another release of another hormone it's called cholecystokinin.
Okay.
And that in itself also promotes fullness and satiety. So the whole process of eating, the want to eat, the act of eating, how much to eat, and when you feel hungry again, it's a very complex process. And of course, along every step of the way, there are other things that we can tweak. For example, intermittent fasting, you don't let your stomach keep stretching out until it becomes like a competitive eater's stomach.
Right.
I actually want to ask on that. So how do they work? Because I see like videos of people eating, right? It's
6
a lot,
kg
8 kg worth of food.
Yeah.
So does it mean they put on 8 kg?
They will, if they go onto the scales, you will see that they put on 8 kg or
so
more.
then how does that burn away? Because,
it's really how much do you poop out as well.
Okay.
How much you poop out.
You
And
might spend a lot of time in the toilet.
I'm sure there are gargantuan poops.
Okay, flush, not enough
Need
capacity.
the competitive eater toilet.
Yeah.
So if you look at the ones who are more fit, they would have, pretty high metabolic rates, and they compensate with other ways of so they overload on one day, but they're not eating so much for the next 2 or 3 days.
Oh, so they actually don't eat one over the next 2-3 days.
They still drink their water, their fluids. They still take their electrolytes, but they are, they can take fiber, but they're not putting on calories.
Okay.
But, this is from one competitive eater that I've seen, that he documented his process. It's quite interesting. So he can drink 5-6 liters of water just to keep things full, and he's taking fiber as well, fruits, but not the unhealthy food that tends to be all these competitive eating scene food lah.
Okay, so when he expands, then he reduces again. This is healthy, man.
As with gym and weight training, it's all about progressive overload.
Okay.
Progressive. If you at one go ask you to eat 8 kg worth of food, right now your stomach will literally burst.
Yeah.
You'll be like the duck, the goose that become foie gras, right?
Yeah.
It's like getting force fed, water boarded. But if it's something you've been training up over many years, it's like bench press. Initially you do 50 kg. If I put 200 kg on you now, you'll just flatten.
Okay, so is it always is the baseline equation calories in equals calories out? Because I do see even online, right, people will eat like 8,000 calories worth of ice cream, and then they'll run 8,000 calories out. Does it really work that way?
It can. Although running off 8,000 calories is very, very intense.
Yeah, okay? It's very long.
It's like, I think more than a marathon's worth. Okay, so part of it is the actual calories lost from the exercise itself. For example, maybe 500 up to 1,000 if you're doing high rocks, for example.
Yeah.
But most of the burn is what comes after that. The engine is still running. It's still burning over the next 1, 2, 3 days. Yeah. But of course, if you keep overloading every day, you're eating 8,000 calories worth of ice cream, then it's quite impossible to keep up with that. But if it's just a once-off thing, you actually can burn all that off in a couple of days.
Okay. And what activities do you burn it off? Like sleep, does it burn?
Yes, even sleeping burns your calories. So this brings me to the topic of basal metabolic rate.
Okay.
Yeah. Basal metabolic rate for someone who's, gymming every day is very different from someone who's sedentary every day. It's also very different from someone who's a long distance runner versus someone who is a heavy lifter, a strength type of person. It all boils down to the amount of muscle mass and whether it's currently metabolizing. Is it trying to rebuild and repair, or is it in a resting state? Are the glycogen stores filled, for example?
So what's the difference between someone who is bodybuilding and someone who is a marathoner? Like the BMR, is it larger for the bodybuilder as compared to the marathoner?
So it's definitely larger for the
per unit weight lah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, correct. So it's definitely higher for the bodybuilder. Okay. I'm trying to draw an example. It's like how much gas does, for example, an 18-wheeler, those type of like lorries, use versus a cherry QQ.
Okay.
Okay.
If you're both stuck in a traffic jam, you're not moving anywhere, which is your resting state. An 18-wheeler is going to be just churning through the fuel like no one's business, right? But then a cherry QQ is 0.8 liters. It's happy, it's chilling.
Yeah.
You're not burning very much compared to that lorry. So that's the analogy I would draw between someone who's a bodybuilder and someone who's a distance runner, for example. So cardio type versus strength type. And the emphasis is a lot more on strength kind of workouts these days because we live in the age of caloric excess. So we need to continue to let it burn even when we're not doing anything. Because we want to eat that ramen, we want to eat that sushi, we want to eat the steak, we want to eat the nasi padang, the chicken rice.
Okay.
So we need to be able to have the physique and the type of body that allows all this to burn off without actively being, in a exercise state.
Okay.
So for an average person, right, just to have a little sensing, for average person,
Yeah.
how much does the person need to run just to properly lose 1 kg of fats?
Or fats.
Yeah.
Well, it's very hard to say how to lose 1 kg of fats.
But 1
Because
kg of weight can.
when I run 5 km, I lose 5 kg.
About the water loss and,
Yeah,
and
pure.
things like that.
I mean, when I run 5 km, I lose 5 kg. I will literally lose 5 kg from water and glycogen and whatnot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but what's the numbers to look at? Because if I'm not wrong, there's like for every 1 kg of weight added, it's about how many thousand calories?
Depends on what weight you're losing, no? If it's fat, wow.
But there's no linear scale, right? It really depends on the person. It really depends on
So it goes back down
which
to
level you're at.
it goes back down to all your metrics that you mentioned just now, your
Correct.
bone density, your
And
muscle
there's
density.
no real way to know whether you're losing fat or you're losing muscle because the weighing scale at home just tells you you're 1 kg lighter. Yeah.
Or losing water for the matter.
Correct.
Okay.
So for a brand new person who is embarking on a weight
Brand new
loss
person.
brand new, because I
Like,
think
just came out of the mother.
no, just decided to
Okay.
to work on it, have been chilling his or her whole life, want to be a brand new person to become fit again,
Okay.
and do a weight loss program. What does he or she has to take note of? Because we do hear instances that actually maybe you are too overweight. You go on a weight loss program, your heart might not take it.
Yeah.
Right, things like that. Right. So what are certain things that a brand new person,
Yeah.
right, or should take note of?
Yeah. I would probably approach it from the angle of what is that person's baseline. If this person, the baseline is you can't even walk 1 kilometer, for example. You're so heavy that every step you take, the knees hurt so much. I'm not going to tell you to go and run, right? And in the same way, if you're someone who's just marginally overweight, I have to tell you to go and run more. I tell you to go and run longer. I tell you to go and gym more, for example. So every person is different. It's just like when I see my patients and they consult me, I feel like I'm a tailor. I'm trying to give them a made to order suit, bespoke. Right. And we tailor the plan according to that.
So what's the heaviest person that you have managed?
Oh, they were above 150 kg.
150 kg.
Yeah, they broke my scale.
What? Scale can break one.
It went error.
Digital.
It went into error.
Wow.
Really, I'm not kidding. It's over 150 kg.
Oh.
And what's your weight roughly now?
But is wide or is this guy tall? Or is,
He's just
more
muscle
wide than
massive.
tall.
Okay, more wide. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, maybe I can draw one memorable example. And it's a success story because I never saw this person again.
Wow,
Oh,
nice.
wow, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so this is how successful, and this is how paradoxical that in my industry, if you are successful as a doctor, you don't get to see this patient again.
Okay.
So I had one lady, she came in on a motorized wheelchair. Okay, and then she was saying, actually, she just wanted to pick up some medications for her back pain. Just giving her a pinched nerve. She was giving her leg pain. She was feeling very, very uncomfortable to the point that she couldn't even stand up to tap in at work. And that day she had just resigned from work because she's like, I can't do this anymore. Okay. What happened was that I opened my clinic door, and the width of the scooter is the width of the door. Okay, you need to be very precise in navigating that scooter into my clinic
So
door.
fitting, so just
Very,
nice.
very, very fitting.
Wow.
Okay, and then she one shot, boom, she come in. And I was like, hey, auntie, you F1 driver.
Oh,
you
okay.
rush with-
Fast.
Then she's like, no lah. And actually, that told me just how comfortable she was in that chair.
Okay.
She had been in the chair for a long time.
Okay, so navigate very well with the
Correct.
chair lah.
It's these little details. And then after a while, she just said, no, I wanted to take my medications only, but I felt like I wanted to ask a bit more. She told me she had resigned that same day. I saw how comfortable she was in the wheelchair, and how uncomfortable she was even just standing up to get out of the wheelchair. And I asked her, she was a large lady, And that's the reason for all of her conditions, the diabetes, the arthritis, the back pain, the nerve pain, right? I think you have been in that wheelchair for long enough. Don't you want to walk again? And then she was like, I've never really thought about it. Can I? And then that's when I referred her on to bariatric surgery. So it's a gastric bypass that will lose 20% or more of your weight. Okay.
What
so
does that mean? Yeah, in the layman's term.
It means cutting out your stomach.
Okay.
Making your stomach smaller surgically so that you stop eating.
And you do that?
I don't do that.
But you refer to someone to do that.
I've been in the hospital where I've managed people who underwent that surgery, and I've seen the progress that's very remarkable. And often when we think about weight gain and being obese in general, we always miss out the human aspect of it. I have talked to some of my patients in the hospital before. He became a BMI of I think 45. And he had just undergone that surgery.
BMI is 45.
Yeah, really, really large guy, but also very nice, very gentle guy. We always, in our minds, we might think of someone who's obese, that they're just lazy.
Yeah.
That they just unmotivated. They just love food too much to the exclusion of all else.
Yeah.
But that's not always the case. So when I spoke to this gentleman, he was telling me he was so happy that he finally went for this. And he wanted to start afresh. He wanted to start anew. He wanted to be the best version of himself. And I said, "Oh, what do you mean? What do you mean by start afresh and anew?" So he said his weight gain actually only came on the last 2 years because his wife and his children died in a car crash. And food was the only thing that kept him alive and kept him happy, kept him like he was still feeling something, and distracted him from the pain. So he ate himself into that size, but he was ready to say, you know what? This ends here. I'm going to be the best version of myself for my wife and children who cannot be here to see me today. So that was very inspirational for me. That was something that really drew me to weight management, to understanding my patients as a whole, not just treating the number, not just treating, that waist circumference, but really making them the best version of themselves.
A brand new person.
That's right.
Brand new person. I'm curious. So, does cutting the stomach solve the problem? Because the stomach is a muscle, right? It can grow back. It doesn't stop the hormones from telling you that you are full or you're. So, what if the hormones that telling you you're full doesn't come in time before your stomach reaches maximum size?
Correct. So that's a very good point. You can eat yourself back into a normal stomach. Okay, so before the surgery, people actually.
They would have to take medication first?
No, so they would have to go for the consultation and then they would be assessed as to their motivation level. Okay, there's no point doing the surgery if 3 years later you're back in the same size with the same stomach. Okay, so the initial stage is to assess the patient to see whether they are motivated enough to follow through with the regime. So they're put on what's called a very low calorie diet, like really low. We're talking about 800 calories a day. Full liquid diet. Full liquid diet is a prescription. You only drink that milk or juice thing for the entire day. It's a large volume. It's a large volume, like 2 or 3 liters worth of fluids. So you can continue to feel full in terms of the gastric stretch, but you will feel weak because of the low calories, and you will start to lose weight already from that.
Okay.
And once you're shown you're able to persist
for how long?
I think it depends from person to person, but it's minimally about 2 months.
2 months.
2 months on that diet.
So if they don't do that, then got chance the surgery will say, no, you can't do this.
They
or you can force it through.
As far as I know, in the public hospital, they don't. They just wouldn't offer it to them because there are other patients who are waiting for that surgery and would benefit from that surgery more in the long term. Yeah.
So they judge really on their willpower and how much they really want it. Oh, that's actually quite interesting.
So when I first make a referral to the bariatric surgery team, it fires off a volley of referrals as well to the physiotherapist, to the endocrinologist, to the psychologist, and the surgeon. So one shot, you're seeing 4 specialists at one go. That's how multifaceted and multidimensional weight management really is.
Okay.
And that's something that we try to manage, of course, in clinic as much as we can. using lifestyle, using medications, using psychotherapy as well. Sometimes I'm the one really telling them you need to get off out of your couch. You need to go and walk. You need to go and swim. You need to go and cycle.
Right. Okay, what about those with beer belly?
Stop beer lah.
I mean, they can stop, but the belly is there.
Is that a thing? Is beer belly a thing, or is the belly is due to alcohol? Is due to beer? Maybe you can debunk that. Or due to other things like char kway teow.
It's the beer belly as we know it is more of a bit like metabolic syndrome. So it's an accumulation of all the fat, the visceral fat in the tummy. It's only centralized there.
Yes,
And not so much in the arms and legs. So that is actually a risk factor for things like heart disease, for things like diabetes, fatty liver, stroke. That the way the body is processing and is showing this is telling you that, hey, I'm gonna do this soon. I'm gonna
have a heart attack soon.
Yeah,
I'm gonna drop something on you.
Because as far as I know, the weight by right shouldn't be centered in the belly, right? It should be distributed across.
By right lah.
Yeah, by right lah. But if it shows in the belly, then there are higher chances of heart attack.
Correct.
Okay.
Right. And the best way to lose such weights is
change your life around.
not by cutting beer lah, that's for sure. Right? It's everything, right?
It's everything. So I think earlier we mentioned, how do I lose 1 kg of fat? You don't. You lose 1 kg everywhere. But you have to put back 1 kg of healthy weight subsequently.
And healthy weight means muscle. Okay. And so that's why people are so crazy over, how much, what feeds muscle? Maybe you can explain that.
Yeah, it's definitely protein. Okay. So if you go online, recommendations are anywhere between 1 to 2 grams of protein per kg. So let's say I'm 80 kg, I'm looking for 80 to 160 grams of protein per day.
From where? Like from meat or from
meat, fish, or for vegetarians, you can look at soybean, tofu, for example, beans. Yeah.
And that's pretty much largely your keto diet. Keto diet.
Keto.
When I pronounce it, I have no idea why.
Keto
diet. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So
it's not easy, right? To find 100 grams of
it's
protein.
really, really difficult.
Yeah.
If you're just purely going to go
on
to the hawker
foods
center
itself.
If you go, what do most people eat is hawker center.
Yes.
It's kopitiam. And it's not like the char kway teow or the chicken rice tells you how much calories this is, or it tells you how much fat, carb, protein this is. So it's really about being conscious. It's about being conscious what you're putting to your body. I'm eating this much rice. I'm eating this much meat. And how do we adjust from there? Do we need to supplement anymore? For example, when I gym regularly, I know I need to replenish more carbs and more proteins. If not, I actually find myself getting very tired towards the end of the day. And so it's also about listening to your body and knowing your body well enough.
Right. Okay, then what about fasting? Well, just now we did mention about fasting, right? But we didn't really dive deep into it. Right. And you mentioned that people does a 18-6 full 24 hours.
Yeah.
Right. Now how does that impact the body? Because I think most people does it without knowing, right? How does it impact the body?
I think most people do it without knowing because they're too busy to eat, then they end up getting gastric, all that kind of thing. So that's because it's irregular. The body doesn't know what to expect. So let's say you're doing a proper, regular 16 fast and 8 eating, right? Your body will start to understand that, okay, this is my eating window. I can put out the gastric juices. I can do all the things. I can feel hungry. And once I get into my fasting window, that's the time I start to I start to put away all the nutrients that I just digested and to start to burn my reserves. So I won't be trying to secrete gastric juices. Like I said, digestion and the whole act of eating starts before you actually put the first bite in your mouth. It's about seeing the food. It's about smelling the food. Even hearing the sound of chicken frying, for example.
Wow.
Oh, that's
all this
lovely.
is.
Wow.
So these are the things that actually trigger our body to have that response to want to eat.
And so that when it's triggered, then the gastric juices are secreted.
Correct.
Okay. So the common question we have is that if you are fasting, then won't you have gastric problems?
Yeah, so that's the thing. It's like telling your body, look, I'm going to be doing this routine. I'm not going to be eating this. No point. Don't waste your energy creating the gastric juices.
Okay.
So, I have done myself personally 24, 18, 6, 16, 8. And I actually never had gastric during those periods when I tried to follow this for a month or so. Yeah, I didn't really do it for too long, but during that time, I didn't actually have any gastric issues.
Does drinking water help? Or?
Oh, definitely.
So it helps to what? To dilute.
So it helps to dilute a little bit. It helps to hydrate you, right? And stave off a bit of hunger as well.
So Dr. Ryan, I have friends who did IF, right? And they say that actually the first few days they gain weight instead of losing weight.
That's very interesting.
Is that a myth or something? Because they say that because my body never eat for a few days, then they end up I eat, they store all the fats, right? Because the body's not used to it. Is it true?
Well, I think you need to ask them to come and see me in my clinic.
I will refer them to you, no problem. Right? Because that's not true, right? You shouldn't have that case, right?
It shouldn't. It's, but of course, also multifactorial. So I think this is best discussed in person, one-to-one, so you can come up with a tailored plan for the weight loss.
Yeah. And you also mentioned just now medications, right? And you mentioned that there are six or seven medications,
you talk
right?
about one, which is the poop out fat one.
Yeah.
Yeah. What other medications are there?
So there's that Zeneca, which is the poop your oil out. And then there is Duramine or Penbesi. So this one is it's also a pretty old drug. They call it a pretty dirty drug because it gives you a lot of side effects. It does the whole appetite suppression thing, but it also gives you insomnia, gives you palpitations, raised blood pressure. So it's not a good way to lose the weight lah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the rebound is very fast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the moment you stop the medication, that's it.
You go back or even beyond.
After
Or
how many
even
days?
beyond. Wow.
Yeah, I've seen people who have gone beyond their baseline weight. And they just get, of course, very dejected and demoralized.
So why would a doctor recommend that drug?
So if we look at weight loss medications in general, okay, even up to weight loss surgery, the weight can be gained back. Okay, I see all this as a springboard, the first step in the journey towards a better self and a more healthy self. Okay, it's we went through so many topics just now about the diet, about the basal metabolic rate, the types of exercise you do, the breakdown of your body weight, what the composition is, So it's this all these measures to lose the weight in the initial stages is actually just a springboard towards the next step. For example, you're 100 kg, you're having joint pains, you can't even go for a cycle. You can't even go for a brisk walk, for example. So by bringing the weight down, maybe down to 90, you're feeling a bit better. You start to be able to perform those exercises. You start to be able to incorporate those things into your life. And then once you take off the weight loss medications or, you're out of that window of the weight loss surgery, you won't bounce back to that kind of baseline weight, baseline fat even.
People get lazy after eating medicine.
Yeah. But so the application of that, just now you say the second medication, right? It's immediate. They will feel the suppression immediately.
Immediate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But if it has so many side effects, and the reason why it is prescribed is because there's no other alternatives.
Correct. This was something that was done in the 2000s even.
Oh, okay. And there are better versions now.
There are.
We talk about two. There are there are other medicines.
Then maybe we go to the third one.
Let's go to the third one first. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So the new kid on the block. Well, in the last 5 years, perhaps. Of course, you have your Ozempic. You have your Mounjaro. You have your Wegovy. All this.
What are those?
Right. So the first hot medication, first viral one, is Ozempic. Okay, it's actually developed as a diabetes medicine. It happens that weight loss is a very attractive side effect of the medication. Right.
So now it became a weight loss medicine.
So now it's actually FDA approved as a weight loss medicine in the form of Wegovy. So Ozempic, Wegovy, these are actually the same medication, the same compound, but Wegovy is stronger.
Oh.
Yeah.
And what do? They address the insulin spikes. Is it because it's diabetic in
Okay,
nature?
so they belong to a group called GLP-1RA.
Okay.
Glucagon-like peptide 1 receptor agonist. So let me break it down.
Let's break it down for
Let's
us.
break it down. There's this GLP-1RA. These class of medications, what they do is that they mimic glucagon. Glucagon is the opposite of insulin. Okay, glucagon comes when your sugar is low and then you're trying to raise your sugar.
Right.
Okay, by mimicking glucagon, you're telling your body, I'm already got enough of the sugar, it's time to bring it down. And then it actually controls, it brings in the insulin, brings in the satiety, it brings in that feeling of fullness, that loss of want to eat. Not loss of appetite, but the loss of want to eat. And then from there, your weight loss journey starts.
And so that restricts the calories in.
Calories in,
Okay.
correct.
Oh, okay.
So if I eat normally, I eat medicine, it's fine, right?
If you eat normally and you eat the medications, you will end up feeling nauseous.
Oh.
If I eat normally, eat the medication, feel
So I will want
how
to
can I
puke
not feel? Yeah.
out, yeah.
So another good or not so good, depending on how you spin it, effect of this medication, Ozempic, Wegovy, is that it will slow down the emptying of your stomach. So let's say you eat your kaya toast at 9 a.m. When it's time for lunchtime, 1 or 2 p.m. already, half of the kaya toast is still there, for example. So
Slows down the digestion.
it slows down the digestion. You don't feel so hungry because the stretch is still there.
So technically you can have one meal a day and that's it, you're done.
Yeah. I mean,
And maybe it stretches the whole meal throughout the whole day.
some people actually do end up going on IF inadvertently because of that.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's you see the whole combination all coming in. It's the lifestyle, it's the diet, it's the medication.
Right.
So what else? What other medications?
Yeah. So
Shortcuts.
The newest viral medication is Mounjaro. Okay, that one is a dual agent. So it's both a GLP-1RA. It's also a GIP.
Okay, what's that?
They essentially work in a similar way, but this is doing it from two pathways. Okay, so it's you're still stimulating insulin, you're still controlling appetite, you're still having that slower kind of digestion, but this time it's like you're hitting it from two pathways, so it's like in a sense like almost double strength.
So what success story do you have from all these medicines?
Okay, so I first put my sister. Okay,
Your sister
my
became
sister.
your first guinea pig.
No, it's not guinea pig. Not
She
guinea
a
pig.
paying customer.
She's a paying customer.
Okay,
of course.
okay.
Yeah. So I put
force
her.
her.
She was deathly afraid of an injection. So Wegovy and Ozempic, these are injections.
Oh, these are injections.
These are
They're not
injections.
pills.
These are injections.
Okay.
Usually to the tummy. It can be done in the arm. It can be done in the thigh. But all injections once a week. This is already an upgrade from previously. There was something called Saxenda. Okay, that's a daily injection. Yeah, so this is a once a week injection now for Wegovy and
They come in what, like those pens?
they come in the pens.
Okay.
Like an insulin pen. So it's like you're
You twist
jabbing
the thing,
insulin, you know.
Jab. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So there is an oral version. It's called Ribelsus. It's the same compound but in the oral form. Okay. For my sister, she was very overweight. She had a lot of acne issues. She had some metabolic issues as well. Sugar was a bit not so good. Okay. And I started her on Ribelsus, the oral form. She lost 18 kg
In how long?
in about half a year.
Half a year. Okay.
That's not too bad.
Changes the diet also, or
No.
pure?
She's
just-
like, I don't want to exercise. Don't tell me to change my diet. Just do something about it.
oh, okay.
And he did. 18
And
kg
she
off.
lost 18 kg just by taking the medication. But from there, she went from eating overeating at every meal to sharing one hor fun with her husband and calling it a day.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
Not even like a medium or large hor fun. It's a regular size hor fun. 2 people share. and she's full and she's happy with that, you know?
Okay. So there's cost savings in spending on food.
Food cost savings, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But the money will go to the
Yeah,
medicine.
medicine.
Yeah. And these are normally not cheap medications, right? I think.
It's new, so new things tend to be more expensive. If you look at new cars versus old cars, for example.
Right. And who would you normally recommend any of these medications to?
I would recommend them to people who are motivated enough to take the first step. So the reason why we see success stories in weight loss, it's because there's the motivation. But if you're motivated enough to come and see a doctor, to come and actually consult and actually listen to advice and really put that into practice, you know, putting in the work, then you can see the effect. You know, so if you come and see me and taking the medication, it's just a byproduct of your drive and your vision of who you want to be. And then along the way, you know, the medications will stop eventually, and then you continue on your journey of becoming your best self.
Right. So Dr. Ryan, I'm very curious. I know you do surgery and a lot of other things, right, as a GP and all.
Yeah.
Why do you actually choose weight loss as one of your focus? And in fact, what other things do you do?
I think it's better to ask what don't I do.
Fair enough.
Okay. So weight loss, for me, I was quite fat as a kid. Okay, I was like 40 kg in P1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the healthy weight for P1 is roughly about
Yeah, look, some
20?
kids are not even 20.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's twice the weight.
Yeah, I was 40. I mean, I ate very well.
Very well.
Okay.
Since
Yes.
grandparents fed you very well.
Grandparents and parents, yes.
Okay.
So I was quite fat growing up, and then when I went to secondary school, of course puberty hit, and then also I went into sports, and I found a sport that I really loved, and I played it competitively all the way to national team level. So I was going to competitions overseas and all that kind of thing.
What sport is that? Yeah.
That's softball.
Softball. Okay.
So actually, fun fact: Singapore is top 15 to top 20 in the world in fast pitch softball.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Softball. So softball is like baseball.
It's like
right?
baseball, and the ball is not soft.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
But
it's not soft.
it's huge, right?
It's about like that size.
It's bigger
It's
than
about
a baseball.
about the size of an apple. Yeah, baseball is the size of like a tennis ball. Yeah.
And so with softball, then you started to
Yeah, I started to enjoy being active. I started to enjoy, participating in sports in general. So even after I played softball all the way until I graduated from medical school. So that was over, it must have been over 10 plus years. 10 plus years, yeah.
10.
So even after that and outside of that, I was still involving myself in things like half marathons, recently I went for high rocks, and I do HIIT, I do gym on a regular basis as well. So I think I can credit my weight loss journey to picking up a sport in an early age and then keeping up with that all the way. So that's something that's been quite core to me, because I've been fat and now I'm not fat. I see the benefits in terms of self-esteem, in terms of the way I carry myself, and also the benefits in terms of just performing daily activities without any difficulties.
Right. Yeah. I'm going to ask personal questioning. You choose not to answer, right? What's your weight?
I am 91 kg as of last check.
91 kg.
Yeah.
And you
91
are about 118 lah.
179, yes.
So that brings your
The
BMI
BMI
to be around
28, 29, is it?
I haven't really calculated.
Okay.
That's how much I care about BMI.
Okay. and it's okay because
And it's okay because I also went for the body scan, and my body fat percentage is at 16%.
16%.
Yeah. So
what's a good range?
I think keeping it under 20 is probably a sustainable way to approach your fat percentage.
Okay.
Some people, they really want to take it to the next level. They want to go for that sculpture, that sculpted
4,
looking.
5%, yeah.
Yeah, that's very hard to maintain over the long term. It's not saying that you can't, but at some point that it does take a toll on your health. For example, for ladies, they start missing their periods and stuff like that. Bone health goes down. So there must be a trade-off.
Actually, speaking of which, I thought you mentioned ladies. The ladies don't take it very well, right? To medications like this because of all the period considerations. Because I do hear a large number of them, as they go through IF, it changes their hormones drastically. What are your thoughts?
I think there's some truth to that. Definitely, their
Guys don't have lah. We don't have any of these issues, right? Yeah.
Sometimes you get menses.
Yes.
Okay, but it's for women, yes, they are more sensitive to hormonal changes, and that can show up. For example, they're more stressed at work, or they're not sleeping as well, or they're having some relationship, financial, family issues, and the period goes completely haywire.
Okay.
So you can imagine just not eating in the usual way that your body is familiar with can also throw that off.
Yeah.
So, to each their own, it's you have to find something that works for you.
Okay. And the best way is to consult professional to see
For sure.
what works.
Find Dr. Ryan and look for
Find
him.
Dr. Ryan?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he'll give you the best advice.
Okay.
Yeah, been through the whole journey, put a sister there.
Yeah, put a sister there.
Yeah, cannot go anywhere wrong or further than that.
I put my stuff on it as well.
Your stuff as well.
Yeah. So a fun fact also is yesterday,
You're overweight before you come. Then after that, I'll accept you. Is it?
he was they were overweight.
Okay.
And then he had lost 7 kg in 10 days.
7 kg
7 in 10 days. On medications.
Yeah.
Wow.
But he must stick to it eventually.
Yes. So once again, I go back to the point of it has to be a part of a bigger plan.
Okay.
It shouldn't be the one and only thing unless you're intending to be on it forever. It's simply an equation. It's just A plus B plus C equals your body weight.
It's there to help you. It's not meant to replace.
It's not meant to be a crutch. It's meant to be a springboard.
So as a doctor, you mentioned that you do a lot of things just now. I didn't really get it because you're operating a GP clinic, right? Yeah, but the GP clinic is named Clinic and Surgery.
Correct.
Why?
Because I also do surgery.
In the clinic?
In the clinic.
Or OTs?
In the clinic.
In the clinic?
Yeah.
So
What type?
What kind of surgeries?
So I've done many types of surgeries in my clinic. Some that would shock most people. Okay.
Let's hear it for a
say
shock.
some of the shocking
So yesterday someone came in because a circle saw cut through their arm.
A circle saw cut through their arm.
Through the arm. And I put it back together.
Which part of the arm?
Elbow, forearm.
Cut through means clean cut?
Like you can see the muscle.
Okay.
Yeah. And I
But not clean cut the bones?
No bone. No
bone, okay.
Yeah. But it's actually quite a clean cut. It's like someone took a
knife,
a sashimi knife and
sliced through. And
Thankfully.
he did not go to the A&E because
I can handle it.
Okay. So it was referred to you lah.
Yes.
It was referred to you lah. So you have to stitch it up and
Correct. So we stitch up the different layers of the
Muscle.
the muscle, the fat, the skin together. And I've actually, this is not my first rodeo, so to speak. And I've had very good outcomes with all these cases.
What's the most gruesome one? Like dangling bones.
Oh,
that one you need autos.
This guy's finger was almost falling off.
The finger was almost falling
Yeah, it
off.
was almost amputated. And of course, this one I didn't keep it in my clinic.
You didn't keep the finger in your clinic? Or
No, I
didn't?
I didn't keep the patient in my clinic, and I sent him off to the
A&E lah.
Yes. Of course, it's important, as much as we want to do the most that we can for every patient. It's also important to know where the limits are, and when it's about prioritizing the patient care. First, it always has to be first, rather than for example, the ego.
Okay. Usually, if it's hands, you will go to the hand surgeon because of the nerve complications.
Yeah, we'll. So, as a family physician and a primary care doctor, part of my role, a very big part of my role, is to know where my patients can get the best help or the most relevant help if I'm not the best person to help them for it.
Okay.
That's the most important.
Yeah, I'm still very curious. What's the most gruesome one that you have handled in your clinic?
Most gruesome. It was a chainsaw that went through this guy's jeans.
Jeans.
Yeah. So when I looked at the wound, there were gene fibers embedded inside the wound.
Okay.
Yeah. I also managed that one.
So you have to take out the gene fibers.
Correct. And then you actually have to take off seemingly healthy tissue because it's already been contaminated.
Yeah.
And you leave that in, then it's just not going to be a good outcome.
How long was that surgery?
About 3 hours.
3 hours.
3 hours surgery.
Yeah.
And your clinical assistants are equipped to help you with that.
Correct. It was how long? Like this long?
The tear.
The cut.
The cut.
It was this long in length, but it was like this wide also.
So this wide and it was this long in length.
It's pretty big lah, actually.
And you have to take out the muscle tissues and all.
Yeah, to take
you
out.
have to like patch it with somewhere else.
You can put the whole drumstick in, man.
Actually could. Two drumsticks like that.
Put two drumsticks,
Two
right?
side by side.
Yeah.
Oh, that's huge.
In that surgery, do you have to patch anything from anywhere?
I didn't have to put a flap in, but that would also not be under me lah. That would be under the plastic surgeon.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why surgery? Is it because of your exposure in the past?
Yeah. So my experience is quite varied. I've gone through, of course, your bread and butter, general medicine, general surgery, but I also did neurosurgery. I also did colorectal surgery specifically.
Neurosurgery,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've seen brains.
And you choose to be a GP.
Maybe that's why he chose to become a GP lah. Because after that,
No. So I was like to draw on my past. So it's neurosurgery, colorectal surgery, A&E. So in each specialty, you see things that are critical. Okay, for example, strokes. In neurosurgery, it's not the normal type of stroke where it's a clot in the vessel. It's when the vessel actually bursts. So it's like boom. There's a bleed in the brain, and then in colorectal surgery, you see colon cancers, which undergo the surgery, and you see sometimes when it's early, they have very good outcomes. They stay for 1 day, they're home the next day, and they are just on follow up, and they're fine forever. And you will also see the really bad ones come in stage 4. They're in a lot of pain. It's very heartbreaking. And you just think like, could this have been picked up earlier? Could this have been treated earlier? And could they have been living a happier and better life for longer? Then you go to A&E, you see the heart attacks, you see you just see so many things that could have been picked up or treated at the early stage before it became critical. So in all of my specialties, among all the specialties I've trained in so far, my favorite was A&E because I was able to save lives. I like the intensity, but what stuck out to me most were the people. The people that I was meeting every single day, the patients that I was seeing every single day, those who came in for even the minor things, hoping that we catch it before it becomes something major or something critical. So in the hospital, we were treating critical things. So we were saving lives in the critical moments, but I also go back to that thought process. Could something have been done before it got critical? So in family medicine and as a primary care practitioner, I save lives before it becomes critical.
Right.
I think that's where it should be about getting regular checks lah, right? Yeah. So to understand if there's an indication towards a critical situation or not.
Correct. So the people always say, I feel fine. I don't feel anything.
Yes.
And that's exactly why you should get checked.
How often should a health checkup be done?
Depending on your age, of course, there are, if you talk to your doctor, depending on your age, if you're 20 plus, maybe once every 3-4 years would be quite good. When you hit your 30s, maybe once every 1 or 2 years. When you hit your 40s, you start to want to talk about cancer screening. At 50s, you want to do more comprehensive stuff like scans. So the very traditional screenings, diabetes, cholesterol, that's the thing of the past. We're talking about further things now. We're talking about your liver function. We're talking about your kidney function. Talk about cancer screenings, genetic screenings. Heart scan, brain scan, lung scan. All this is to with the technology, we'll be quite. I wouldn't say dumb, but it'll be
Silly lah, not to do it.
will be it's the onus is on us to actually leverage the technology.
Okay.
Right. But it's always better to find out earlier than later, right?
For sure.
Yeah, but I think most people will have the indication that I worried that I go for a health checkup and then I find out something and then it's bad and then might as well I live a life without knowing anything, might be better.
So you're right. I do see quite a lot of patients like that, and they tend to be more of the older generation, 60 plus, 70. Like don't test me, don't check me for anything. When it's time for me to go, I'll go. And I said, yeah, you wish. You wish. If you are so lucky as to go in your sleep, that's a blessing for you lah.
Yeah.
But what if you don't?
More often than not, you don't, right? Maybe you have a show, then you just
So what if
lying
you
there.
you end up having a stroke and then you're bed bound for life and then now who's taking care of you?
Yeah, you end up causing more burden to your family.
Correct. Then you start becoming a burden. You start you when you look back, you're gonna regret being selfish, saying that I want to live my best life. Yeah, you could have done your health screening.
Yeah.
And lived your best life.
And you have managed your weight better with that.
Correct.
Yeah. So don't worry, before we come to the end, because I think there's a lot more conversation we want to have with you, but I think our time is limited. But before we come to the end, right, maybe I'll put your attention to this camera over here. But any last tips or advice to our viewers out there, right, in terms of weight management or health in general?
Right. So my advice would be nothing changes if nothing changes. Don't treat your dream like just a wish.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very nice words. Hi guys, thank you for listening. If you like what you have just heard, follow us for more content like this.